The celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful in the celebrity and stuff like that, but it comes with, you know, sometimes. And but Lee looked me in my eyes. He said, "No, no, coach. I'm gonna be."
Do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away.
The celebrity sometimes comes with, like, everybody wants to be successful in a celebrity and stuff like that. But it comes with, sometimes, and looked me in my eyes. He said no coach do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Bryshere Gray's entry into showbiz wasn't all glitz and glam. Nope, it was tangled up in drama from the get-go. Rumor has it he faced misuse and mistreatment, and even got mixed up with some sketchy older folks who allegedly took advantage of him. And get this, whispers say his so-called mentors, like Lee Daniels, were up to more than just giving career advice. Bryshere Gray left that house screaming August the only one that's from being on the path to making thousands of dollars every day to zeroing out on everything by going to jail twice. Gray has experienced it all. Yazoo Gray is better known by his stage name. Yes, the greatest yet. He has expanded his status beyond that. Gray is now widely recognized as one of many unfortunate romantic targets of these Hollywood elites. According to Gray himself, his career was going wonderfully until he met Lee Daniels and Will Smith, at which point it took a turn for the worse. So when rumors finally began to circulate that he was allegedly involved with Will Smith, Bryer's career took turns in all the wrong ways. Of course, Will and Jada Pinkett, his wife, have a highly open relationship in which both of them are comfortable discussing their emotions with members of the other gender. So it doesn't really come off as a surprise if Bryshere was also one of the many men Will was romantically involved with. You may also not be aware of this, but Jaguar Wright has really discussed this topic on podcast and YouTube a lot, where she has dissed Will and Jada Pinkett Smith for ruining young artists by initially taking them under their wing for some supposed mentorship program and later on exploiting them in other ways. Anyway, Gray's career took a huge plunge after he was involved in this bizarre affair with Will Smith, which led to him finally going under depression and getting diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And honestly, you only need to look at what happened with Diddy to see that Hollywood isn't always sympathetic to relationships that don't fit the typical template. So it should not come as a shock that after whatever transpired with Will Smith, Gray lost his charisma and things began to go from bad to worse for him in the entertainment industry. And we are all aware of how Hollywood may behave at times. Unfortunately, Grace's career took a significant hit when things did not go according to plan. And on top of that, the effect it had on his attitude made things much worse. Even more, it caused him to burn all the bridges of survival himself in any case for some years. Now Hollywood has been filled with industry gatekeepers who take advantage of Black creators, and recent revelations are proving that Lee Daniels might just be one of them. One Hollywood giant who previously exposed Daniels is comedian and actress Monique the Comedian recently opened up to The Hollywood Reporter about her recent resurgence on the big and small screens and the journey of forgiveness that has led to this fruitful new season of her life. It made dollars and cents. And for all those years, it just wasn't making sense. Monique said of her return to the business back then, "I didn't feel a glow. I felt disappointed. I felt the same injustices and inequalities that all the Black women who came to Hollywood before me felt. Oftentimes people call that anger. They call it bitterness. They call it unstable. They give it all these titles, except what it really is." Monique has long been open about the fact that her retreat from Hollywood was initially prompted by a falling out she had with director Lee Daniels at the film studio Lionsgate when it came time to promote her Oscar-winning performance in 2009's Precious at the Cannes Film Festival. The actress refused to do so without additional pay. When informed that that was not quite how the promo machine worked, she respectfully declined, opting instead to spend some much-needed downtime with her husband and then 4-year-old twin sons. And that was a problem. She recalled the problem of how could this fat black woman say no to the powers that be in Hollywood co-producers, Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry. Each made attempts to sway Monique into joining in the promotional run after the studio expressed displeasure with her decision, but to no avail when asked why she didn't want to spend a glamorous weekend in France promoting the work she had poured her soul into for great G consideration by critics and awards committees. Monique laughed as I explained to Oprah Winfrey. I said, Oprah, I'm doing a talk show. I'm doing a comedy tour. I have a husband. And I have babies. I have a little bit of downtime and I'm going to take advantage of it, she explained, so I'm not going anywhere because I'm not obligated to go anywhere. I've done my part. So we mutually agreed to disagree. That was it. Next thing I know, I am considered difficult and hard to work with, despite once describing each other as the best of friends. Monique and Daniels did not speak for another 13 years after this incident, but a chance behind-the-scenes encounter between Daniels and Monique's work on a low-budget cable thriller led the two to what the comedian calls a chapter of forgiveness. The celebrated film director revealed in 2021 that a disrespectful crew led to a major behind-the-scenes shakeup only 20 days into filming his Oscar-winning 2009 drama Precious. But those who were present disagree, claiming that Lee uses an iron fist to pass his agenda during a reunion panel with lead actress Gabby Cab at the 2021 Toronto International Film Festival. The director recalled that he didn't feel good about the film's dailies after 2 weeks of shooting, and course-corrected shortly thereafter. I had a white line producer, a white ad. They also read reviews that said my last film, Shadowboxer, was the worst film ever made. And they had zero respect for me, my vision, or what it was. They were New Yorkers that looked at this as a job. Daniel said, I kept coming home like this doesn't feel right. She doesn't look right. The set looks weird. I felt like I was giving birth to an alien, literally. So I did something that I now don't even know whether I'd have the courage to do, but I fired everybody. I shut it down. Cad appeared to wipe away tears as Daniels recalled the incident and chimed in to confirm that he cleared the crew after a mere 20 days on set. I was so nervous about making sure that she was lit beautifully. It didn't feel right, the director added, whether we were going to take a financial hit. Because of it, I just blindly shut it down. It was a risk that ultimately paid off, as the film ended up grossing $64 million against a $10 million budget. Then we got back with a new DP. Andrew Dunn Daniels continued. I'd seen The Madness of King George, and I loved the way he shot it. I loved The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston. He'd done that. And I asked him, I need your help, because my DP is disrespectful. They were all white guys, just rude, disrespectful, really rude to what I wanted to do, not knowing I was going to shut it all down. Another person who has crossed paths with Daniels is Me Too founder Toron Burke. Toron previously revealed that she was deeply offended by the television and film executives' plan to create a comedy inspired by the movement. Back in 2018, Deadline reported Daniels and comedian Whitney Cummings had teamed up for a half-hour comedy series that was being developed at Amazon. The show, starring Cummings, revolves around the staff of the Ombudsman's office at a college that navigates PC culture and the Hashtag climate. According to the site, the lead character must reconcile the dissonance between different generations of feminism and the struggle to reconcile our primal desires and socially constructed identities with current ethical obligations regarding race, class, and gender. Burke, who founded the movement over 15 years ago, shared her reaction to the project with the New York Times. I just read something the other day that said Lee Daniels is making a Me Too comedy. The hair stood up on my arm. To put Me Too and comedy in the same sentence is so deeply offensive. And not because I'm uptight. And I don't see comedy in things. We're not ready for a comedy. And it's just so offensive that you think in this moment, when we're still unpacking the issue, that you can write a comedy about it. And that's the type of thing I'm talking about. We have to get out in front of that. The activist also stressed the need for diverse writers' rooms within television, which would help prevent the movement from being misrepresented. That's exactly why it's important to get in the writers' rooms now, and to connect with Hollywood now before it gets to be such a catch-all phrase that they dilute its meaning, that we help people understand the gravity behind the words, and that it's not just used as a "look who got me" toad, haha, like a punchline. Another celebrity who has called out Lee Daniels is Damon Dash. Back in 2018, Empire creator and director Lee Daniels and Damon Dash reached an agreement over a lawsuit about a proposed Richard Pryor biopic. The longest dating project had been in development, hell, since around 2013, and Daniels was first attached as director in 2014. Dash accused the director of breaching their contract over the biopic, which the Jam co-founder was scheduled to work on as well, and sued him in 2018 for $5 million. The two reached a settlement that same year, but at the time the details of the agreement they came to were unclear. In court documents acquired by The Blast, it was revealed that Daniels